Okay, what we're going to look at is adding something to the search terms page. So we're going to make a search term. So let me just go back. Um, I've got a back button on it yet. So we're going to add another button onto the main page, and we're going to do search terms. So show all terms you might have done, you might not have done yet, but we're all going to do this one. So when we go onto here, what's got to happen is that all of the terms that we've got so far are just going to show up. Okay, so they'll be tiled like that, depending how big they are. And then what we should be able to do is be able to type in, and it should filter. And you can notice here it's filtered already. As soon as I started typing, it will filter. So if I type N, okay, it's filtered by N. If I type R, it's filtered by R. If I carry on typing, it should keep filtering. Okay, I've got a clear search button here that I want to use as well. So that will let me search by typing in. This one will let me search by filtering by the specification reference. So if I got any terms of programming, no, I haven't. Okay, if I've got any terms of data representation, all my examples are, this is an example data set. You'll have more because you've been doing more, and then I can go back to the original list by clearing the search. Okay, so this is what we're going to create. Now, what I want to show you is that it's not, you just need to understand what is actually going in the class out. So the basic principle here is that we've got now on our page, we've got a form. Okay, so I've made a form. This is all on the SharePoint page. Search terms there. There's my form. I've got a label and a text box like you've had on your forms before. This is my drop-down list. I've actually physically typed them in. We could create that dynamically from data if we had the data, but that's my drop-down list. It's a select, and there's my clear search button. So I've got those, and I've added in some code down here, bill card, search terms, and data, and that's what you need to add into yours. So in my search terms, I'm reacting to different events. So when I load the page up, what it's doing, it is going through all the definitions in my definitions list, and it's building into cards, which is an empty div. It's building into that and putting the card in. Okay, so you're running a make card and it's putting the card in. Okay, and then on my search term button, so when I'm typing in, here we've got a different event. We've got an on key up. So key up is slightly different because it's when we press the key down and we're bringing the key back up again. So that's when this fires in. It triggers that and it fires it in. And the basic principle is that we clear out all the cards. We grab the text from the text box, whatever we've typed in so far. So even if it's one letter, we grab the length of it so we know how long it is. It's one or two letters. And then we use this function for filtering. Okay, so it takes the definitions list, it filters it, it creates a new list here, but it filters it so that each definition, this just represents the first part of the string, however long it's matching. So if I've typed in one letter, it's checking in the definitions term, the first letter, 0 to 1, etc. That's what it's doing. And it's trying to match it up against what's in the text box. So what we've got from the text box is here, it's called this text. So this is the text box, and we grabbed it from there and we put it there and we do the filter. If there's nothing in the list, it's going to tell us like it did, and then it's going to populate the cards again. So wipe it clean, populate it again. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. It's very simple steps. This is what we would have to do if we were doing it ourselves. If I typed in the letter N, I would need to get N. I would need to check what characters I'm checking in my list. So I'd have to go through every item in the list and check, do the first characters match the first characters of the term, and if there's none there, if I don't find any, I'll tell somebody, but if there are, I'll add those into the new pile. Okay, it's just what I would do in real life if I had all these cards were on my desk and I was doing that. And that's what we're doing. You've got to think of the computer doing things that we do. So it's the same here when we change the specification reference. So this time it's on change. We clear the cards out. We grab the value of the changed drop down. We do the filter. This time we're not checking. We're just checking not part of the string, the whole string of spec ref. And we're checking that it matches whatever we've pulled off the list box. And then if there's any if there's none found, then we report that back. If there are lots found, then we put them into the box. And then likewise, if we clear, then all we're doing, grabbing the data, okay, we're putting it, we're on click function, we're grabbing the current list, we put it into there, and so on, right? So it's exactly the same. We're going through and doing that. All right, so this is what we are looking at. Everything's in the SharePoint page, including this video is where you're watching the SharePoint from, but this is a powerful tool now. We've got lots of terms. So if we're trying to search for terms, we can search for them like this.